Norvell from Warchant to your right.
Hey, KJ. Welcome. Why was it important to enroll early? What were you looking to accomplish by doing that?
I feel like enrolling early, it'll give me that early start, that early jump into the program. I feel like I would be able to develop my body more, learn the scheme more, and just build those relationships with the coaches and players, just so come spring or come fall, I'll be ready. My body will be ready, my mental will be ready, and it'll just be easy to get up and go.
Next will be Brendan Seminoles 247 on your left.
What position do you think you'll start off playing, and I guess how they described wanting to use you and use your skill set early on in your career?
Just coming in, I think I'll start off as corner, talking to me. Well, the coaches talking to me, they see me, my ability to be long and physical at the point of attack, at the point of line. Just being able to run and put my body against somebody else, I feel like that's a great attribute. Coming into the Seminoles defense, I feel like I'll be used effectively.
Okay, we'll stay there for Chris Nee from Noles 247.
Hey, KJ, you have a couple siblings that are in college that run track, right? What have they told you about the process of just, going from the high school to the college ranks and being an athlete?
Oh, it's definitely a different, huge transition, I should say. Going from high school to college, you're going to build more relationships. You're going to have more responsibilities for yourself and having a whole lot of tasks for yourself. But the main thing they told me is just finding what's genuine, finding those relationships, building those relationships to find what's the best fit for you and who's going to put you in the best place to be successful.
We'll go to the back corner, Aslan Hajimandi from Warchant.
Fans care about recruiting rankings and stars and all that kind of stuff. When you're like a true freshman and you enroll in a place like Florida State, do you look around at the roster and see the guys and how they stack up, or is that something that you guys really don't talk about once you become teammates?
No, once you get in college, stars don't really matter, I should say, because that's a whole different level of football. You're playing against grown men, so it's just about coming in, putting in the work, getting your body right, and just learning the scheme so you can get on the field and play.
All right, we'll go back to your left, second row, Hassan from the Tallahassee Democrat.
Yeah, coming here now, being here, is there anyone you kind of started to lean on to get advice, playing your position, how to play in college? Like, is there anyone that teammate you kind of started to lean on, you want to get advice from that's played at the level already?
I find myself often talking to Greedy Vance, Travis J, and AZ Azare. So just being around those guys, they give me a lot of pointers and tips coming in, especially with just workouts and just daily living, how to move around campus, how to move with workouts, and just day by day they're giving me different tips with the scheme, and it's just helping me along the way.
Okay, we'll go back to Brendan on your left.
I know he was just announced yesterday. Have you gotten a chance to talk to Coach Surtan yet?
I haven't got a chance to actually sit down and have a full face-to-face conversation with him, but we have spoke. We were actually supposed to be getting with each other either today or tomorrow and just talk about everything, talk about how he sees me in the scheme and what will go on from here.
All right, next question will be from Zoom. It'll be Logan Robinson from Game Day.
How you doing, KJ? Welcome to Tallahassee. How have workouts been kind of getting used to everyone around, and what Mike Norvell likes to do with those workouts, definitely on Fridays?
The workouts are definitely different. It's definitely different from high school, but with all the coaching staff and the players right behind you, boosting you up, it's definitely been an easy transition. But the workouts, they've been getting to me a little bit. It's just all about finishing and pushing yourself, and the coaches definitely do a great job with pushing yourself and bringing out that best you possible.
All right, next will be Ira Schofel from Warchant on your right.
During the recruiting process, I know you were sold on Florida State and the coaching staff, but then to have the success they had this season, did that make you feel even better about your decision?
Oh, yeah. That made me, it kind of opened my eyes a lot more than what it did when I first committed back in August. But what really sold me at the beginning of August was the message that Coach Norvell told me during the recruiting process. He said, if you didn't want to work, this isn't the place to come. And that stood out to me, that he's going to put his best into me and that he's not going to let me slack off or come any shorter than my best. So that was just the first thing that really opened my eyes, like, this is the place for me. But with the success of Florida State, it just made me realize even more that this is the place for me and where this program is going.
I'll stay here for Corey Clark from Warchant.
What did you know about Coach Surtain? Because obviously I think his career was over before you maybe started watching football, but I know his name is a pretty important name, and his son was drafted a couple years ago.
Yeah, I definitely knew about pretty much everybody knows about his son, but I knew about him not too much, but I heard about him here and there. playing with the Dolphins and all that. I think 11 years in the NFL. So I know with that background, with his knowledge, he'll be able to pour into me and make me become a better DB, even possibly a great DB, possibly a future NFL draft prospect. But definitely just for him to pour his knowledge into me is definitely a great thing to have.
I was going to say, how exciting is that to know a guy that played 11 years, also had a son that was the number 9th overall pick, but number 9 overall pick. But what does that say for a freshman to get that kind of tutelage for the next 3 to 4 years?
Oh, it means a lot. Like I said, just being able to be developed by that hive minds. So just having that in my corner to fall back on, just learn different things to look at on the field, off the field. Like I said, it's just a great thing to have.
We'll go back to Aslan in the back corner.
I think 2 seasons ago, Omarion Duke, got a lot of run as a freshman. Last year, Azaria is a guy that got a lot of playing time as a freshman. Is that something that you noticed? Is it something that he talked to you about in the recruiting process? Is it an appealing thing?
Oh, it's definitely an appealing thing. Just to know, I know coming in, it's not going to be given to me. I know I'm going to have to come in and put in that work, but I know if I put in enough work, learn the scheme, just get into the program as best as I can, I feel like that could be a possibility for me, and I'm willing to take on that chance.
We'll go back to Ira.
You mentioned being attracted to the work, and you talked about wanting to work now. Like, where does that come from? Like, did family or coaches, or like, where did you build that work ethic?
Definitely a family thing. As long as I can remember, me and my sisters, we were put into sports, I should say 4 or 5 years old, and my parents, they wouldn't let us slack off when it came to anything, school, sports, whatever we said we wanted to do, they held us to it. They didn't let us slack off in anything, so I feel like that carried over into high school, college, here now, and along with those coaches I had in previous years, they definitely pushed me into putting in the best work possible, putting in your best work possible so that you won't slack off, so that you won't fall short of your goal.
Right, next will be Aslan again in the back corner.
I know you haven't been here all that long, but you mentioned that Travis Jay is one of the guys that you're kind of leaning on and talking to. What are your impressions of him? He's a guy that came here really highly recruited, maybe hasn't seen his full potential realized, but is he a guy that you see a kind of a drive and a confidence in?
Right, yeah, definitely. Just being able to talk to him, I see his passion for the game, his love for the game, and just him pouring his knowledge into me that he has from the years that he's been here is definitely a great thing to have, one of those vets to lean on to, and just so you can ask questions and build those relationships for just asking if you need anything.
All right, we'll go back to Brennan Snowden on your left.
You mentioned the structure that you had with your family, especially in athletics. Was it a competitive household, I would assume, with a bunch of athletes?
I would say it was a competitive thing, because I was the youngest of 2 sisters that's in college, so they just tried to push me around as a so-called little brother. But, that made me want to come up with a name of my own, because, growing up, my sisters were, like, pretty good track athletes. Both went to states in high school. They're now running collegiately, so I was always seen as the Kirkland sisters, or, oh, you're so-and-so little brother. And I was like, nah, I don't like that. I need to make a name for myself. So that was really a motivation too. So just waking up every morning, you got to make a name for yourself. You got to come out, put in that work, make a name for yourself so people can notice you for who you are.
We'll go back to Hassan in the second row.
Yeah. So speaking on that, can you beat your sisters in a race?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you feel like you're the fastest on the team, or do you want to, you want to find that out?
I definitely want to find that out. I don't want to come in big-headed, say I'm the fastest on the team and get the doors blown open on me, but I feel like I'm up there with the speed guys.
All right, we'll come back to Ira.
What were some of the things about Coach Fuller that you liked, and now that you've been here around him day to day?
Coach Fuller, from the start of the recruitment, from the moment they offered me, everybody's, him along with everybody, calling me every day, checking up on me, not just about football, but my personal life. And that showed that these guys really care about me and they really value me as a person and not just a person in the jersey. So that played a lot in that recruitment stage. But going into the actually coming here, with the loss of Coach Woodson, that's the person who recruited me the most. First thing he told me, he said, don't look at that as a downfall, because I'm going to be with you every step of the way until we find somebody else to replace him. So just having Coach Phil in my corner, somebody that I can lean on, talk to, ask for anything, he'll give me his best foot forward. Just having that in that corner, as knowing him that he's your DC, that's a pretty good thing.
What was it like during this, I guess, the month of December, when all the veteran guys were announcing they were coming back? I mean, from Jordan to Verse to Benson, all those. How exciting was that for you?
Very exciting. I remember me and my dad just watching all these players announce that they're coming back. He was like, this is a moment where you could just learn from them, learn how they move, learn how they work, so you could be in the same spot as them and just have the same opportunities as them. And it's just also just being able to compete with those guys, see how they work, see their determination towards the game, and just learn a couple different things from them.
Feel good? All right. Thanks, KJ.
Thank you, guys.